Hello and welcome to another edition of Issues with Jide. Here we'll talk about actions and inactions of those who shape our political and national landscape, how these impact us positively or otherwise. Eid Mubarak, my people. I'm Ibrahim Shita. Today on the show, scared Simon Ekpa denies IPOB in court, claims he's a content creator, faces 12 years in prison. In the course of the program, we take your questions, but first, subscribe to our YouTube channel and drop your questions in the comment section. It's important to mention that we can only read comments with human names and the ones based on the subject matter. I have joining me via Zoom, the master himself, Babajide Kolade Otutoju. Good to see you, Dikeo.
Good to see you, Ibrahim. Barakada Salah, Barakada Big Salah to you and to all our viewers across the world.
All right, thank you very much. So, if you look at the self-acclaimed Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government in exile, known as Simon Ekpa, has finally declared that he is not a member of the indigenous people of Biafra. This is coming after he has been preaching and deceiving his followers in the Southeast that freedom is coming tomorrow, saying that no true freedom fighter escapes jail or death. BKO, as the prime or the prime minister call him, has he denied his republic?
Of course, the so-called Prime Minister publicly denied his republic, and technically in his heart, that republic does not exist. Remember, this guy attacked me because of some of my comments on this program when I pleaded that Nnamdi Kanu should be released on compassionate grounds. And, I demanded that we should look for extra legal means to solve the problem. And my argument has always been that it's not all matters the courts are able to decide. Sometimes even the courts encourage arbitration and conciliatory moves to find a solution. So he was not happy that I wanted Nnamdi Kanu released. He attacked me on social media. His supporters attacked me. If he has not deleted those videos, they are still there. If he has not deleted the comments that I made about me, I'm sure they will still be there. I saw a few of his supporters and thoroughly brainwashed people
Yeah.
attacking me over.
He actually called us a terrorist, and he also called TVC a terrorist organization or a terrorist station, just to put it into proper perspective.
So between us now, who is the terrorist? I've never called people out to unleash violence on fellow Nigerians. He's the one who has been doing that. And when he says give them Woto Woto Pro Max, as he was fond of saying, what is the meaning of that? It means deal decisively with people, give people violence. Woto Woto means violence now. The people in Finland may not know the meaning of that, but in Nigeria, that is some lingo that we are familiar with. When you say I'll give, you will be attacked. You will be violently attacked. So I've always felt that this guy um, was not does not represent the ordinary people from the southeast because my Igbo friends and the Igbo people generally are smart, brilliant, and courageous people. If they do not have courage, they won't leave their states to set up business in different parts of the world. In some of the most far-flung places on planet Earth, you see Igbo, you know, doing well. So I I've always felt that I've always felt that it was fake, that it does not represent our people. Now that he has chosen cowardice instead of standing by his convictions, I don't think he leaves any doubt anymore in the minds of our people that he does not have the strength of conviction, that he was just manipulating the minds of innocent people, promising them utopia and refusing to stand by the Biafra that he had always spoken about. How can you say that what you are doing all along was just acting, that you are a content creator, and that you can't choose content creation as an escape route? I've never seen this kind of freedom fighter in my life who got to court and found an alibi, content creation. I thought he would stand strongly by what he believed in. So he was just manipulating our people for money all along. So it's like when you say the king has lost his crown, the prime minister has chosen to deny his republic. Here was a man who uh, founded a breakaway group that he called the Biafra Autopilot, a breakaway group from, they called it IPOB Autopilot. So it was a breakaway group from IPOB. And where IPOB decided to preach peace, when IPOB said, no, we will no longer have sit at home on any day, because in the past they limited it not just to Mondays, but to those days when Nnamdi Kanu is brought to court. But after Eze Chukwemeka Eri and the late Senator Ifeanyi Uba, as well as the leader of the Southeast Caucus in the Senate, Senator Abaribe, visited Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS cell. They pleaded with him that sit at home was crushing business in the Southeast and that people were transferring their businesses uh, to neighboring states like Akwa Ibom, like Delta, and those states were thriving at the expense of 5 Southeast states. He agreed. He agreed to uh, put an end to sit at home in the Southeast. But because of the way Simon Ekpa was preaching this idea of civil disobedience, it continued. It continued. And people were scared to come out on Mondays to do their business. Those who are not, those even schools decided to extend their operations to Saturday to make up for lost time on Mondays. So you find students being compelled to go to school on Saturdays in the Southeast to make up for the time that they lose on Mondays when now Samuel Ekpa and his people would implement the directive of their Oga that I should be sit at home on Mondays. So he has chosen cowardice, as I said, over courage, over standing by the things that he had been deceiving his followers about. Now he's being arraigned on charges related to terrorism and having faced the courts, he claimed that he makes videos for pleasure. He makes videos just as a content creator. Now, based on the Finnish laws, the maximum sentence is 12 years. That is, if someone dies in the process of getting involved in terrorism, because he's been accused of, of public incitement to commit a crime with terrorist intent, accused of participating in activities of a terrorist group, accused of aggravated tax fraud and violation of the provisions of the Attorneys Act in uh, uh, in Finland. He is described as carrying out public exhortation to an offense with terrorist intent. So these are the charges. What I said earlier, and the offense was said to have been committed between 2021 and 2024, but he was arrested in December 2024, accused of spreading separatist propaganda on social media.
That's right.
So now his lawyer has a lot of work to do. He has to prove that indeed he was only creating content for social media, that it has nothing to do with terrorism. But one thing I know is that before these people, they are not like us. Right? You file a case and then start looking for evidence, which is what the EFCC does. They are not like us. Before they file a matter against you, they will have built up what amounts to a prima facie case, which will make it difficult for you to escape conviction, if not impossible. Remember what happened to James Ibori. The courts here in our country shamelessly allowed him to walk free. He got to London, was arrested, and put on trial with similar charges that the Nigerian courts couldn't convict him over. And James Ibori was jailed. His wife was jailed. His girlfriend was jailed. His lawyer was jailed. So he didn't find it funny at all.
Yeah.
Someone Ekpa's lawyer has a lot to do. He has a lot to do to ensure that he does not get the maximum sentence of 12 years. Otherwise, normally, if you are charged with supporting terrorism, 6 years in jail. But if somebody dies in the process, then go to jail for 12 years.
That's right.
So
Unfortunately,
that's what
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, EPA's enforcement of stay-at-home orders has been linked to over 700 deaths and significant economic losses in Nigeria's southeast. But if you look at IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, they've also publicly dissociated themselves from, or itself from EPA, stating that it was never a member. So could this disavowal of EPA be interpreted as a strategic move to distance the organization from violent activities? Or does it genuinely reflect a lack of association of the group?
No, they had to say all of that at the time because they had made up their minds to not be as disruptive as they used to be. Here was someone now using their name because if IPOB, the sit at home was instituted by IPOB in the first place. And when IPOB was prevailed upon by leaders from the southeast to drop the sit at home, because people were being killed, the same people that you were saying that you wanted to liberate were being killed on Mondays. Clearly, terror cultists and other outlaws had hijacked the movement, had hijacked um, the ideology. So they then felt, okay, if he was part of us, then he should have agreed to not do anything that has to do with civil disobedience that he was preaching at that time, because they had already made up their minds as IPOB to discountenance and to stop such agitation. So I am not surprised that they disowned him, because you are supposed to be loyal to the group. If you are part of the group and the group now says, okay, no more sit at home anywhere in the Southeast on any day,
Okay, are you there?
honored, he publicly dishonored the group. He probably denied the group that he was operating on his own. That was the point. He wanted his supporters to see him as having nothing to do with IPOB, as being on his own, you know. But his agitation is similar in terms of the goal, similar to IPOB, which is an independence of Biafra, the need for referendum to be conducted within the states that make up Biafra. And remember, he even wanted the Nigerian map redrawn, such that states like Bayelsa, many states would then be part of Biafra. I wonder how you could have done that, because he didn't limit himself to the southeast states. Clearly, brought on board states outside of the southeast, some states of the south, uh, for example. So this is the thing. And I don't think that in itself can damage the case against him, because they are going to be looking at the things that he did, the recordings that they have. You may not belong to IPOB and still be seen as promoting uh, terror. You don't have to belong to IPOB before you can be seen to be promoting terror. Your utterances, the steps that you take, can actually advertise you as a terrorist or as a promoter of terrorism. So I don't think that it damages the case that they have against him.
That's right. Let me take some comment before I take my questions. I, Simon Ekpa's family are already, on this comment section, and we can see them displaying their follies. We have Big T Prince saying, God bless you, Uncle Jide. Larry Ogule says, yes, it's just about money making. We also have Afolabi Shegun says, Simon Ekpa and Simon Ekpa. Now I see. Okay, I think there's Success Ekpa that says, liar from the pit of hell. Can you play where he said it to prove your lie? So he's saying that the attack on, yourself, during one of our shows, about more than a year ago, where he called us actually a terrorist, and then also called TVC terrorist stations. I remember I screenshot that and I sent it to you, and he said, just dismiss them. And he comments on that comment, one of his minions saying that, Prime Minister, tell us where they are so that we can visit them. So you can go on Simon Ekpa's page and and search TVC, or you'll find it there. It goes to show that these people will never learn their lesson. So I can see them. They are now dominating our comment section. Interesting stuff. Olatuji says, I thought Nnamdi Kanu was the only IPOB coward until Simon Ekpa said he's a content creator because he's afraid of jailed head. We have Nelson Adufe says, success, Ekpa. Okay, they are responding to him. Go and ask Google. His actions claimed lives of people in East due to terrorist intent. His intent of collecting money and all his gesticulating and funny acts will not be considered. Evangelist Evangelist Julius Omorube says IPOB had taken a clue from the Amber Boys in Cameroon by killing their own people. Okay, we have so many comments, coming here. Some of Ekpa's people are already doing their own comments, and they're quite interested in that. But Bikio, let me take this question. If you look at the social media, because Simon Ekpa utilized social media to disseminate his messages, leading to real-world consequences. But what responsibilities do you think digital platforms have in monitoring and regulating content that may incite violence, and how can they balance this with freedom of expression?
So that's the big problem that we have. These tech giants are not doing enough. You watch people post offensive content capable of inciting not just anger, but violence that can lead to loss of lives. And you let it hang there for so long, you do not do anything about it. I mean, it's wrong. We saw how Nnamdi Kanu in 2020 was preaching violence, telling people to go and attack certain individuals, certain people's business premises and all that. Such thing, there has to be a way to ensure that such propaganda do not go out. Tech giants need to be far more responsible than they are. Yes, we want people to have the freedom to express themselves, but you can't have a situation in which people spread terrorist propaganda with reckless abandon. Boko Haram does it, showing videos of Nigerian troops that they kill. How does that promote peace? How does it promote peace? How does it even help us to attain or to achieve our aim of ensuring that peace is attained? It doesn't help at all. So they have to find a way to creatively knock off this kind of terrorist propaganda off their platforms, make it difficult for people to sustain this kind of campaign for people's blood. There's really the killing campaigns going on. They've got to find a way to rein it in. They are to blame for a lot of what we are seeing. Honestly, children turning against their parents, a lot of it is because of what they've seen on the internet. Social media is thoroughly being abused, not just in our country, but different parts of the world. There's a need for them to do something, honestly. But as for Simon Ekpa, he enjoyed the adulation of his brainwashed supporters. He was quite what he was doing enabled him to attain popularity. But now he's reluctant to face the consequences, and actions have consequences. He's unwilling to to live with the consequences of his actions. So he has chosen the path of a coward. He chose the path of a rat that is cornered.
That's right. Bikio, I hope you can see. Okay, I think it's quite difficult to show on the screen. I do not know how to display it. This is Simon Ekpa's page. On the 23rd of March 2024, he tweeted one of our videos. It's difficult to display on the screen right now, where he said that, let me read out the comment. So for those of you that are asking the question, just go to 23rd of March 2024. He said, listen to criminals calling someone else criminal. They think by their propaganda and blackmail, we will go into hiding. They use their channel to support the terrorist government who kills women and children. and they are going ja 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 because we are now defending our women and children from their terrorist Nigerian army. At HQ Nigerian army, they are running mad because they are collecting woto woto. that's someone Ekpa. Woto woto, exactly. You can see
Yes.
it. So that's his tweet. So go to 23rd of March 2024. So just search, go to Simon Ekpa's page and type, TVC. You'll find it there. You see some of the things I wrote, or just type criminal, or you find it there. You'll find it on his page. So for those of you that are asking for evidence,
yes. Now that the evidence has been provided, so what do they do next? We are different people. We will not. We won't accuse somebody of harassing us in any way. And then when it is time to bring evidence, we will not.
Exactly. Right. So let me take one or two comments, Bikio. Bikio, can you hear me? Bikio, are you there?
But I simply ignored him because I knew I was on the right path. Now it's time for him to face the consequences of the decisions that he has made. Actions have consequences. Big decisions have consequences. You have to be ready to live with those big consequences. So, and that's the burden that he has now.
That's right. Let me take one or two comments and I ask my maybe final question. Obina Hero says, TVC News, why didn't you invite? Okay, this is not actually related. It's station in the right senses will not do actually what you're asking for. Nelson Adufe says, success. Okay, I think I've read that. Okoro Friday says, come on. Big T Prince says, I love TVC because they don't display unnecessary emotions on set and they are highly professionals. God bless TVC. Thank you so much, Big T. Nelson Adufe says, Ekpa should serve his jail term in Finland. Then he should be repatriated back to Nigeria to serve his terms here too. So we have.
Yes, that's what the Attorney General. The Attorney General has been demanding for extradition. The Chief of Defence Staff, that's General Christopher Gwabin Musa, has been demanding for his extradition. I still read AGF Fagbemi a while ago saying that they were working with the Finnish authorities to send him to Nigeria. But we all know that that's not going to be easy because he's a citizen of that country. He's described as a Nigerian Finnish activist, so it's not going to be easy to bring him to Nigeria for trial. They are going to try him over there, and they've started the process. They brought him to give his testimony. He's been cross-examined. We don't know how long it will take, but I believe that since the offenses were committed in their country, they would rather have him tried and possibly jailed their country rather than sending him to Nigeria. But it all depends on how far we go. But as a citizen of their country, I'm kind of convinced that they are going to try him within the boundaries of their own laws, in the ambit of their laws, rather than simply send him to Nigeria to face trial.
That's right. Someone says, Nonso Kapo says, Simon Ekpa terrorism has destroyed the entire village of my in-law. Hediora Chukudi says, did they carry the evidence and go to Finland? You asked for evidence, we showed you the evidence. And then
the joke is on you now. He said, you said there was no evidence. Yeah?
Well,
he said there was no evidence. These are very funny people that we are dealing with. They don't give up.
It's so amazing that we have a lot of them watching this show, and their comments
No,
really,
was the moment they saw the headline for today's discussion,
right.
I'm sure they start talking to one another. Say, let's go and see these guys. Let's see. Let's
But
go
this is
and listen to what they have to say.
this is the problem, BQ, because a lot of them are actually abusing you and abusing us, right? Uh, Nelson
You don't
Adibese
expect them. You don't expect them to praise us now.
but if you look at the Biafra
So,
movement, it has a complex history, with past conflicts and ongoing tensions. How do you think Samuel Ekpa's approach compared to previous Biafra agitations? And what lessons can be drawn from history to address these current challenges, especially with his millions who appear not to be, using their own head to decide or to determine things that are affecting them or things that they should do as Homo sapiens that they are, so to speak.
oh, you see, I've always demanded for fairness. Let there be fairness. Let the people of the Southeast get their due from the Nigerian government. Contribute a lot to the growth and development of our country. They are very enterprising. They are the Jews of our country because they are prepared to go anywhere. They like to go to uncharted territories and make such places a lot better than they met it. So I have tremendous respect for them. If you lived in Kano and you lived in Sabongeri, for example, I lived in Sabongeri for years in Kano before relocating to Otoro, Samiamboka. So you will have lived with the Igbos and you have no cause but to respect their enterprising nature, their um, their can-do spirit. I don't think I've seen any race in our country that has got the can-do spirit of the Igbo man. And I'm saying this with a high sense of respect. It doesn't matter what they say about me. There's a younger brother of mine who said, Jide, no matter how you preach for Nnamdi Kanu's release, the Igbo people will not like you. If you like, be praising them up and down, they will not like you. But that's like a generalization, a sweeping generalization. I have some of my best friends are Igbos. I lived with them and I still have friends. So I believe that they deserve a better deal in today's Nigeria. For example, since 1999, the Igbos have not produced a president, they have not produced a vice president. There's no reason for that. You may accuse them of not playing politics the right way, but we need to stretch a hand of fellowship to them, bring them closer, and make them feel that they belong to this country, they own this country. There's no need to discriminate against anyone. So this is my feeling. Good governance and fairness, when it is demonstrated across the board, our people will not need a Simon Ekpa who is just a guy man, fooling the people. And the guy man saw that he could end up in jail and quickly chose to call himself a content creator. You know, he's now in the category of
Maybe cool.
issue. Is now in the category of what's this guy that does comedy? Uh,
Maybe
this one.
Markangel. There is Markangel. There's a whole lot of them.
Yes, or even Pella and Jarvis.
Yeah, that do beautiful comedies. Yeah,
Yes, it's now in the category of Pella and Jarvis doing content creators.
that's
You
right.
know, it's very funny. Sabinus, it's now in the class of Sabinus.
Happiness. Yeah,
You know, aha. So, but
interesting.
we'll see how his case goes. We'll continue to monitor his matter, no matter how much they abuse us. We'll continue to monitor his case, see where it all ends.
That's right. And the beautiful thing that you said about the Igbo people is that majority of them are very good people. Just like we had one of our tenants right from when I was a baby. He's still living in our house up to now. Another one left our house to his own house, and my mom goes to their house, for Christmas celebration, spending 2 weeks and
Yes.
about. These are Igbo people, fantastic people. It's just so unfortunate that we have some people who are misrepresenting this, this picture on the social media.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Bike, your final thoughts on this, because we have someone who commented, Nonso Okapo says, Jide, please, I beg you, my wife and her people have not gone to their village for 4 years due to the actions of some Ekpa terrorism. Nnamdi Kanu brought this horror on us. Bike, your final thoughts as we wrap. The time is actually
Two things need to be done. Two things. The kinetic and the non-kinetic approach. We need governors who will say, no way am I going to allow sit at home to continue. No way am I going to allow my people to be wiped out like chickens. I like the governor of Enugu State because he made it clear from the beginning. I like the aggressive nature of the Imo State governor in terms of protecting his people, working with the armed forces. But these are not enough. There is a need for other methods to be used that are not that are non-kinetic. Let's see maybe a summit of Igbo leaders will be able to help us address this problem. The unemployment, the rampant unemployment in the East, the underdevelopment in parts of the East, all of these have to be addressed. There is a political angle to the problem. It has to be addressed, just as we're addressing the issue of security. I believe that the approach must be intertwined. We cannot deliver peace by focusing on military action alone. We need to adopt other strategies to make our people in the Southeast feel safe. I feel for the man who said he cannot go home. It's so terrible because kidnappers, look at the case of the lawmaker who was killed. These kidnappers, some of the kidnappers in the Southeast are the most bestial that we have in our country. They are among the worst kidnappers that you can find anywhere because they will take money from you and still take your life. They are extremely merciless in terms of the way they operate. So there is a need to pursue the aggressive military campaign to root out these people from their hideouts, while at the same time pursuing the non-kinetic approach. I know that for some of them, this thing has been turned to pure business, just to make money, take people's lives and make money. And when they are arrested, you see that they are proper cowards. You see the way they will be talking, feeling, behaving like a rain-beaten chicken, just because they've been arrested. They can't take a bit, just one bit of what they give other people. That's the nature of bullies. Bullies can't take what they give other people. And we see bullies in every profession. Even our own profession, we see bullies. They can't take even a fraction of what they give other people. So that's the thing. That's the thing. I pray for peace in the Southeast because I hold a very important traditional title from the Southeast. As the son of a king, naturally, I'm not supposed to take the traditional title. As the son of a king, the eldest son of a king, I'm not supposed to take a traditional title. But I took that title from the Southeast, from one of the most respected kings in today's Nigeria, Eze Chukwuemeka of Enugu Aguleri, which is the Ile-Ife of the Southeast. That's the source of, the cradle of Igbo. The first Igbo man is believed to have originated from there. That was where they gave me a traditional title, without knowing anybody. Without knowing anybody. Allah Akbar. God
That
is
is
good.
that is great. Well, Vicky, you've said a whole lot. If we stay here 1 more minute, these people will finish up with a lot of invectives. Today is a good
Oh,
day.
they are still abusing us, right?
it's it's just out of control. It's just out
Good
of
luck to
control.
them.
Good luck. But
Yeah.
that's our show for
Good
today's
luck to
edition of
good luck to
Research
them.
Today. Special thanks to you, Babajide Kolade Studio, for those insightful analyses, as always, the Okulora of Enuguland, of Igboland, rather, I should say.
Thank you. We'll do this again next week, God willing. Thank you to our viewers, our loyal viewers, not the birds of passage who come occasionally simply to abuse people.
Special thanks to you, our audience, for keeping our company on every edition. You can see the program again anytime by subscribing to our YouTube channel, TVC News Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button to get the latest information. You can also follow us on our social media platforms at TVC News NG. I'm also at Ibrahim_Shooter. On behalf of the rest of the team, I'm Ibrahim Shooter. See you again next edition. Bye for now.
Thanks.